be like a personal brand for someone's career. It doesn't have to be the person's name. There's a lot of freedom. The trick, in my opinion, is like you make it so that someone can type writer boss and then the name, like writer boss Boston, Mark Williams, and then people will say, oh, okay, this guy, it really is this guy is writer boss, or it's like writer boss Boston. See, what I'm saying is Mark Williams, he's a fictional person, he's imaginary, but if he was real, he'd be able to tell people, my brand is writer boss Boston. Mark Williams has a name that is not unique enough to come up in a search. So if personal branding always was all about a person's own name, then Mark Williams would be kind of screwed. So, but what Mark Williams has is this brand. It's a business, so it's a little different. Not everyone has a business to make it so they have a personal brand. You remember the example I gave before, Greta Thunberg. It's not a business, it's something she did. So you have a brand when you do something that gives people a way to explain you. And she did the sail across the ocean thing. So she's just a good example because she was a kid when it happened. That means she can't have a college degree. She can't have, awards and promotions at a company. And so she's really a helpful example when you or I want to empower one of our clients with this realization. You have a brand after you do something that helps people have a way to explain you. So, Chicago bilingual nurse. This is this thing that 3 nurses created. I've given this as an example before. It's just helpful this way. It blew up into a big thing, but it started with just 3 people. And the fact that it started with 3 people also is something interesting because it benefits all of you the same. It doesn't benefit you any less. For the amount of time it takes to start a little brand with a couple people involved, it's less work for everyone because nobody has a lot of time, and it can become something. And the way that we do it, like, notice how there's no other branding company. It's hard, I bet, to find another branding company that does this. We make a brand by actually doing something, telling them, choose something you care about. And I think I listed below, at one point I had a list, and I think on this page, see, this shows the things they can do. This is not normal. This is not what you see in a video about how to do career development branding. Tell them to publish a series of articles. Yeah, because we can give it a searchable name. That's the trick. Because it's like when you search for the name of someone, you have a way to search for their name plus some other thing. I remember Brittany Wilson, nerdy Brittany Wilson nurse. Anybody can search for her, even like misspell it or whatever. But it doesn't matter because she got a bunch of stuff online. This is all her. And this is when you say, wow, this is an overachiever. That's the trick. That's the whole trick. That's like what Chadwick brand is based on. It's the fact that you can publish a bunch of, she has a whole lot of search results, more than anyone actually needs in order to be recognized as an overachiever. In order to be recognized as an overachiever, um, you need to have a way for people to find you with a search and see, I don't know, a couple, like on the first page, 5 or 6 results about you. And especially if you have one of them as a video result, even a very simple video, it does this trick to the person's mind. When we remember that most people don't have what Brittany Wilson has, they don't have this presence in the search results, then we realize this is why most freelancers can't get enough gigs. I always made sure to have a searchable brand name and tell people, search for this, find me, check out my brand with a search. And they did. And once they did, that made them invested enough that they would try my trial for a low, no risk trial. So, but it's about having brand presence for a business, definitely, but for a freelancer, especially, and then for a personal brand. The way to make a personal brand to be recognized in your career as not just by hiring managers or even colleagues, but friends or like people that somebody dates or whatever. It's like, oh, like you give them a way to explain you. I choose one of diet as a factor in dementia. Okay, so somebody has an interest in this, they choose this. Right. And then we say, cool, we're going to publish a series of articles about this. We're going to give it a searchable name. That means it's unique enough to be searchable. It's like catchy, maybe easy to remember, and then instantly the person has a brand because we publish this thing, their name will be associated with it. We will work as their assistants and make it the way that they want it to be. This is like the gig economy era. It's like it's not dishonest for people to have a thing that they do with the help of assistants who have specialized knowledge. That's how things happen.